My child, listen to me. Do not turn away. Do not let your thoughts drift to the 1,000 distractions that pull at your mind, for this moment is a sacred appointment, one I have ordained before time began. I am speaking to you, not with the distant thunder of a far-off deity, but with the intimate whisper of a father to his beloved child. You feel a sense of urgency in my voice, and you should. I am leaning in close, for I will not have you miss what I am about to say. You will lose more than you can ever imagine if you allow this moment to pass by, treat it as common or insignificant. Do not harden your heart or tell yourself that you will return to these words later. Later is a thief that steals destinies. Now is the only time you possess, and I am filling this now with my presence. My child, I am deeply serious, and it is time for you to become serious as well. Your life is not a trial run, not a dress rehearsal for something greater to come. This is the stage. This is the story being written. Every choice, every thought, every word is a brushstroke on the eternal canvas of your soul. You have treated life as a jest, a game to be won with cleverness or enigmaed with distraction. You have sought laughter to drown out the silence where my voice waits. You have chased fleeting pleasures to numb the deep ache for purpose that I placed within you. But the game will end. The laughter will fade. The numbness will wear off. And what will be left? I speak to you now to ensure that what is left is not regret, but a foundation of unshakable truth. Listen with the ears of your spirit, for my words are not empty vibrations in the air. They are not philosophical concepts to be debated or religious platitudes to be memorized. Each word that I release to you is alive. It carries the very substance of eternity. It is infused with the power that spoke galaxies into existence. When I speak, I am creating a pathway for you. When you receive my word, you receive life itself. It is a seed, and if you plant it in the soil of a willing heart, it will grow into a tree of righteousness whose fruit will sustain you forever. If you cast it aside, you are casting aside your own future, your own peace, your own becoming. To wander from my voice is to choose the wilderness over the garden. To close your ears to my call is to willingly turn your back on the river of life, a river that flows from no other source but me. Do not think me harsh. I am not speaking to crush you with burdens or to chain you with rules. I am speaking to awaken you from a dangerous slumber. For time, my child, is a far more delicate and fleeting thing than you perceive. Your mortal eyes see a long horizon, a seemingly endless succession of tomorrows. But from my perspective, where eternity is the measure, your life is but a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes. It is like the grass of the field, green and vibrant in the morning, but by evening, cut down and withered under the heat of the sun. You must not squander these precious, numbered days. Every beat of your heart is a drum counting down to the fulfillment of the purpose for which I breathed life into your lungs. Do not waste a single beat. This very moment, this breath you are taking now, is a gift, an opportunity to align your soul with the one who made it. I am the one who knew you with an intimacy you cannot fathom. Before your mother and father ever met, I knew you. Before you were conceived, I had already called you by name. I was the architect who designed you in the secret place, in the quiet darkness of the womb. I knit you together, thread by delicate thread, your strengths, your weaknesses, your laughter, your tears. I saw your unformed substance, a being of pure potential, and in my book, all the days ordained for you were written when as yet there were none of them. Do you grasp the depth of this, my child? Nothing about you is an accident. Nothing about your life is random. You are not a cosmic coincidence. You are a deliberate, intentional, and deeply loved creation. Because I formed you, nothing about you is hidden from me. You move through your days believing you have a private world within your mind, a secret chamber in your heart where no one can enter. But I dwell in that chamber. I am the silent observer of your innermost being. I know your thoughts before they fully form into consciousness. I feel the desires that pull your heart in a certain direction long before your feet begin to move. I know the words that are shaping themselves on your tongue, whether for kindness or for cruelty, before they are ever spoken aloud. You can construct a careful facade for the world. You can fool your friends, your family, your co-workers. You may even succeed in fooling yourself for a time, but you cannot deceive me. I see past the polished exterior you present. I see the fear you hide behind your anger. I see the loneliness you conceal with your frantic activity. I see the shame you cover with your pride. I see it all, not with the eyes of a judge waiting to condemn, but with the eyes of a father yearning to heal. So I implore you, do not turn away from this intimate gaze. Do not harden your heart. It is the most tragic of human tendencies. I have watched generation after generation do it. They hear my call, they feel the pull of my spirit, and for a moment they consider. But then the world shouts louder. The fear of change becomes greater than the desire for life. The comfort of their familiar chains feels safer than the uncertainty of freedom. They say, tomorrow. I will deal with God tomorrow. They build their lives on the sandy foundation of endless tomorrows, but for so many, their breath is stolen in the night. Their plans evaporate like mist, and their hands, which once held so much, grasp only for empty air. Do not be seduced by the great lie of human autonomy, the illusion that you are the captain of your own ship, the master of your own destiny. You believe you have control over the number of your days, but you cannot add a single hour to your life. You believe your strength will protect you, but a microscopic virus can bring you to your knees. You believe your wealth will secure you, but it cannot buy you peace or purchase your way out of the grave. You believe your worldly wisdom will guide you, but it cannot answer the deepest questions of your soul. I alone hold the measure of your life in my hands. I am the one who sets the boundaries of your existence. Every moment you are given is a moment offered by my grace, not earned by your merit or seized by your strength. Therefore, hold this moment as the precious, irreplaceable gift that it is. My child, the reason you wander, the reason you feel so restless, is that you have not yet understood your own worth. You have been listening to the wrong voices. The world has valued you based on your appearance, your productivity, your social standing. The enemy has whispered in your ear that you are defined by your failures, your sins, your deepest shames. And so, believing these lies, you have settled for so much less than what I have for you. You drink from polluted puddles when I am offering you a pure, flowing river. You fill your stomach with the emptiness of cotton candy when I have prepared a feast for your soul. You chase after fleeting shadows, mesmerized by their dance, because your eyes are not yet fixed upon the eternal light that casts them. But I am not content to leave you in the darkness. I am calling you out of it. My voice is the light piercing your shadows. I am calling you because you belong to me. You are mine. You were created by me, and you were created for me. I will not stand idly by and watch the one I have chosen, the one for whom I have paid the ultimate price, sink into the mire of despair without extending my hand to pull you out. My call to you today is a threefold call: to hear, to believe, and to realize. I am calling you to hear my voice above all the others. I am calling you to believe that what I say is true, that who I am is good, and that what I offer is life. And I am calling you to rise from the dust of your past, to shake off the grave clothes of your old life, and to walk in the newness I provide. I have placed eternity in your heart, my child. That is the source of your divine discontent. You have a longing that no earthly thing can satisfy, and you will never find rest. You will never be truly whole until you come home to me. Do not make the mistake of thinking I am far away, a distant king on a remote throne, unconcerned with the details of your life. That is another lie designed to keep you from seeking me. You do not need to perform grand religious feats to get my attention. You do not need to climb to the highest heavens to find me, for I am already there. You do not need to descend into the depths of the earth to grasp me, for my presence fills even the darkest places. I am near. I am closer to you than the very breath that sustains you. I am more intimate to you than the thoughts that flicker through your mind. I am the foundation beneath your feet and the air that fills your lungs. The distance you feel is not on my part. It is the space you have created with your own fear, your own distractions, your own sin. But that space can be closed in an instant. All it takes is a genuine turn of your heart. If you turn to me with even the faintest whisper of sincerity, a simple, "God, help me," I will hear it as a trumpet call in heaven. If you take a single, hesitant step in my direction, I will close the remaining distance, running to you with the joy of a father welcoming home a long-lost child. If you can bring yourself to open the door to your heart, even if it is just a crack, even if your hand is trembling with fear and uncertainty, I will not force my way in. I will pour into that opening a peace that the world cannot give and cannot understand. It is a peace that stills the storm within you, a peace that anchors your soul in the midst of chaos. But you must understand this, my child. The world you live in is not your friend. It is a rival for your affections. It is a system designed to distract you from eternal realities. Its glitter is designed to blind you to true beauty. Its promises of freedom are designed to lure you into the heaviest of chains. Its fleeting pleasures are like salt water. They satisfy for a moment but leave you thirstier than before. The world will cheer for you when you chase after vanity, when you build your life around your own glory. It will applaud your ambition, your self-reliance, your accumulation of wealth and power. But when your soul is starving in the midst of your success, that applause will be a hollow, mocking echo. It cannot feed you. The world will tempt you with power, with influence, with control over others. But when death, the great equalizer, comes to knock at your door, that power will disintegrate like a sandcastle against the tide. The world will tell you that the highest good is to live for yourself, to follow your heart, to be your own truth. But when you stand before me on that final day, you will see with devastating clarity that living for yourself was the surest path to losing everything that truly matters. So do not give your heart, the very core of your being, to that which will inevitably betray you. Do not pour your life's strength, your energy, your passion into building things that are destined to decay. Lay up your treasure in me. Invest in the eternal. For I am the fountain that never runs dry, the bread that always satisfies, the treasure that can never be stolen. My child, I am jealous for you. You must understand the nature of this jealousy. It is not the petty, insecure, controlling jealousy of a human being. It is a holy and righteous jealousy, a divine passion that you would fulfill the purpose for which you were made. I am jealous in the way a master artist is jealous for his masterpiece, refusing to allow it to be used as a common doormat. I am jealous in the way a loving husband is jealous for his bride, unwilling to see her give her affection to a cruel abuser. My jealousy is for your ultimate good. I desire that nothing and no one should usurp my rightful place in the center of your heart, because I know that anything you place on the throne of your heart besides me will ultimately enslave and destroy you. You were made to know me. This is your primary purpose. All other purposes flow from this one, and you will wander the earth, restless and unfulfilled, until you find your rest in me. Every beautiful song you have ever heard that stirred your soul to its depths was but a faint, distorted echo of the perfect melody of love and truth that flows eternally from my throne. Every breathtaking landscape your eyes have ever gazed up in, a majestic mountain, a serene ocean, a vibrant sunset, is but a shadow, a dim reflection of the unfiltered radiance that shines from my presence. Every human love you have ever tasted, even the purest and best, was but a single drop from the infinite ocean of perfect, unconditional love that pours forth from my heart for you. Do not trade the ocean for the drop. Do not trade the source of all light for a fleeting shadow. Do not trade the perfect symphony for a broken echo. Do not settle for the broken fragments the world offers when I am offering you the fullness of myself. My child, the path I call you to is not a path of worldly ease. It is a path of truth, and truth, by its very nature, is narrow. It does not accommodate lies. It does not make room for compromise with darkness. This path demands your surrender. It demands that you willingly lay down the things you have been clinging to for security and comfort. It demands that you lay down the idols you have built in your hearth, the idol of being liked, the idol of financial security, the idol of personal comfort, the idol of control. It demands that you release the bitter grudges you have been nursing, which have been poisoning you from the inside out. It demands that you renounce the lies you have believed about yourself, about the world, and about me. It demands that you bring the sins you have been hiding in the darkness out into my light, where they can be forgiven and healed. The cost of this surrender is great. It will cost you your pride. It will cost you your self-reliance. It may cost you the approval of others, but I promise you the reward is immeasurably greater. For a divine exchange takes place on this narrow path. When you lose the life you have built for yourself, you find the glorious life I have designed for you. When you release your grip on the chains of your sin, you step into the magnificent freedom of holiness. When you give up the tarnished treasures of this world, you gain eternal riches that moth and rust cannot destroy and thieves cannot steal. When you choose me over everything else, you are choosing life itself, true and abundant and eternal, and no one and nothing can ever snatch that life away from you. So do not delay, my child. Delay is the native language of the kingdom of darkness. Procrastination is the lullaby the enemy sings to your soul, whispering, "Tomorrow, tomorrow. There is always tomorrow." He knows that tomorrow is not promised to you. The enemy of your soul, the accuser, is watching you right now. He waits in the shadows, hoping you will dismiss this moment. He hopes you will rationalize away the conviction you feel, that you will harden your heart just enough to walk away unchanged. He trembles at the power of your yes to me. He fears the holy fire that will ignite in your soul the moment you fully surrender. He fears the glorious freedom you will taste when you finally allow me to break the chains he has so carefully wrapped around you for years. Do not give him the victory in this moment. He is an already defeated foe. His only remaining weapon is deception. I am giving you the light of my truth to see through his lies. Walk out of the darkness and come into the light. I know, my child, I know that you feel weak. As you hear my call, a part of you rejoices, but another part of you trembles in fear. You look at the mountain of change before you and feel utterly inadequate. You think of your past failures, the countless times you have tried and fallen, and you wonder if you can truly bear the weight of this transformation. You fear that you will fail me, that you will stumble and fall right back into your old ways. But listen carefully to my promise. I do not call you to walk this path in your own strength. If I did, you would surely fail. I am calling you to walk in mine. I am the strength of the weak. I am the hope of the hopeless. I am the unbreakable shield for the broken-hearted. I am the solid rock on which you can build your life, a rock that will remain firm when everything else around you has turned to dust. Will you stumble on this path? Yes, at times you will, but I will be there to lift you up. Will you falter? Yes, your faith will sometimes waver, but I will be there to steady your feet. Will you face trials and tribulations? Yes, the path of truth often leads through the fire, but I will walk with you through that fire, and its flames will not consume you, they will only purify you. My grace is not a fragile, delicate thing. It is a mighty, raging river. It is powerful enough to sustain you through every dark valley, every fierce storm, every long and weary night. My power is made perfect in your weakness. So lift your eyes, my child. Stop measuring your life by the pain of your past or the overwhelming uncertainty of your future. Your past does not define you. My forgiveness does. Your future is not a mystery to me. It is a story I have already written. Lift your eyes away from the shifting circumstances and fix them upon me. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the very beginning and the ultimate end. I am already standing in your tomorrow, preparing the way for you. I have already forged a path through the wilderness you fear, even when you cannot see it. This is the walk of faith, to trust not in what is seen, for what is seen is temporary, but to trust in what is unseen, for what is unseen is eternal. You think that I am far away because the world has filled your life with so much noise, the constant clamor of media, the endless demands of work, the shallow chatter that fills so many of your hours. But I am speaking even now, my voice cutting through all that noise to reach the core of your being. You think that I am silent because your heart has grown numb from disappointment, pain, and compromise. But my voice is the very stillness that is calling your heart to awaken and feel again. You think that you are alone, utterly and completely alone in your struggles. But that is the greatest deception of all. I have been with you in every single moment of your existence. I was with you in the moments of pure, unbridled joy, rejoicing with you. I was with you in the moments of crushing sorrow, my heart breaking with yours. I was with you in those desperate moments when you thought no one on earth saw or cared. When silent tears traced paths down your face in the dead of night, I was there, counting everyone. When despair sat on your chest with a weight so heavy you could barely breathe, I was the one carrying you, though you did not feel it. When you were betrayed and abandoned by those you trusted, I remained your faithful companion. When you were mocked and misunderstood, I was your hidden defender. And when you were lost, wandering in a wilderness of your own making, I was already the good shepherd, leaving the 99 to come and search for you. Therefore, do not despise yourself, my child. Stop looking at yourself through the lens of your flaws, your failures, and your weaknesses. That is not how I see you. When I look at you, I see my own image, tarnished but still there. I see the divine spark I placed within you before the foundation of the world. I see not only what you are right now in your brokenness and fear, but I see what you will become as you yield your life to me. I see the saint, the warrior, the healed and whole person you are destined to be in my kingdom. You are not worthless. You are priceless. I know this to be true, for I am the one who paid the price for you. And I did not pay with corruptible things like silver or gold. I paid with my own blood. I gave my own life so that you might truly live. So let no voice from within or without ever tell you that you are unloved. The cross of my Son stands throughout all of eternity as the undeniable, irrefutable proof of my love for you. Do not say you are forgotten or insignificant. I have engraved your name upon the palms of my hands. You are ever before me. Do not say you are hopeless. I have conquered death and risen from the grave to give you a living and eternal hope. My child, the hour is growing late. The world as you know it is rushing toward its appointed, and even though many laugh and mock at the very thought, but I tell you the truth, The day is surely coming when every knee will bow in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to my glory. On that day, the proud empires of men will have crumbled into dust. The powerful and arrogant will be brought low. The self-sufficient will be shown to be utterly bankrupt. But the meek, the humble, those who have clung to me in faith will be lifted high. Do not be counted among those who are caught unprepared, who lived their lives as if this fleeting earth was all there is. Begin today to store up your treasure in heaven, for I promise you where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I am calling you now, not for a momentary emotional experience, but for an eternal relationship. Do not let this voice, this divine invitation, pass you by. Do not drown it out with the noise of your life. Do not walk away with a list of well-reasoned excuses. I am speaking to you with such passion and urgency because I love you too much to let you perish without a clear and loving warning. I am speaking to you now because this is a season of mercy. My arms are stretched wide open to receive you, but the day will come when the age of mercy gives way to the age of judgment. One day the door of grace will close and the invitation will end. But today, this very moment right now, the door stands wide open for you. Walk through it. Come home. You will find rest for your weary soul. And now, my child, having heard my heart for you, let us speak of the precious hearts I have entrusted to you. You ask why you must not allow your children to do whatever they please, why you must hold them to my ways, why it matters so profoundly that they do not skip over, neglect, or despise my words. Listen with all your heart, for the answer is life itself, not only for you but for them and for generations to come. Your children are treasures that I have placed in your hands, but you must understand they are not your possessions to do with as you wish. They are eternal souls bearing my image, loaned to you for a season. You are their steward, not their owner. I have given them into your care, not to be indulged in every fleeting whim and passing desire, but to be trained, guided, nourished, and rooted in eternal truth. If you truly love them with a love that mirrors mine, you will discipline them. If you truly desire their ultimate good, you will guard their steps. If you long for them to walk in the fullness of my blessing, you will not abandon them to wander in the wilderness of life without the map of my instruction. Think of it this way, my child. A child who is given no boundaries, no correction, no guidance is like a beautiful ship built without a rudder. On a calm, sunny day, it may seem to drift along peacefully, and you may mistake this drifting for freedom. But you know that the sea is not always calm. When the storms of life inevitably rise, and they will rise, the ship without a rudder will be mercilessly tossed by the waves. It will be driven against the rocks, broken apart, unable to find safe harbor. In the very same way, a child who is given everything they desire, whose selfish will is never corrected, whose harmful impulses are never lovingly restrained, will be utterly unprepared for the realities of this fallen world. When the winds of temptation blow, when the waves of adversity crash, when the storms of heartbreak come, they will crumble. They will have no internal strength, no moral compass, no spiritual anchor to hold them fast. To refuse to correct your child is not an act of kindness. It is an act of unintentional cruelty. To allow them to have their way in everything is not a sign of love. It is a form of abandonment. What appears gentle and loving in the fleeting moment, giving into a tantrum, ignoring a lie, permitting disrespect, becomes a foundation for future ruin. Do not mistake indulgence for compassion or permissiveness for care. My discipline for you and for them is always rooted in love. And the discipline you extend to your children, when it is done with wisdom and patience, is likewise one of the purest forms of love you can give them. My child, my words and commands are not given to burden you, but to protect you. My boundaries are not designed to confine you, but to set you truly free, free from the slavery of sin, free from the destruction of folly. My commands are not shackles, they are shields. They are the protective walls around your life that keep the devourer at bay. They are the lamp for your feet that keeps you from stumbling in the dark ravines of life. They are the loving voice of a father calling. This is the way, walk in it, keeping you from falling into the hidden snares laid for your soul. When you or your children choose to skip my words, you are deliberately stepping out from under the canopy of my divine protection. When you neglect what I have spoken, you are stripping yourself of the spiritual armor I provide, and you leave yourself and them vulnerable. Blessings are not random acts of fortune like a lottery. My blessings are covenantal. They are the natural, spiritual result of aligning your life with my will and my ways. To walk in obedience to my word is to walk in the very path where my favor flows. To ignore my word is to wander off that path into a spiritual wilderness where blessing cannot take root and flourish. So it is with your children. If you allow them to dismiss my words as irrelevant, if you permit them to treat holy things lightly, you are, by your inaction, leading them away from the river of my blessing and into the dry land of loss. Every word I speak is pregnant with life, and to despise my word is to despise life itself. You can never separate your children's ultimate well-being from their relationship with my voice. You cannot say, I want them to be blessed, but I won't insist they honor God's word. That is an impossible contradiction. I am the source of every good and perfect gift, and those gifts flow through the channel of a heart that treasures me and my instructions. If you allow them to skip my words, you are allowing them to disconnect from the very power source of joy, peace, purpose, and favor. My child, you know from your own journey how easily the human heart is drawn toward folly. Even you, with the wisdom of your years, feel the daily pull of temptation, the allure of the world's glitter, the whisper of selfish pride. How much more susceptible, then, are the hearts of your children? Their hearts are tender, impressionable, and not yet fortified with wisdom and experience. They are so easily lured by things that shine brightly but have no substance. If you do not diligently and intentionally anchor their souls in the solid rock of my truth, I promise you, the shifting sands of the world's culture will suck them in. If you do not purposefully teach them my ways, the enemy of their souls will gleefully teach them his. If you do not sow seeds of righteousness, love, and truth in the garden of their hearts, the weeds of bitterness, selfishness, and rebellion will grow wild, and those weeds will eventually choke out the beautiful fruit of the destiny I have planned for them. Do not deceive yourself with the popular modern lie that they will just find their own way without your guidance. A child left to himself brings grief to his mother and father, but a child trained up in the way he should go becomes a crown of glory, a source of joy, and a blessing for generations. When you set loving rules and boundaries for your children, when you correct their disobedience, when you discipline them with a firm but loving hand, you are doing more than just managing behavior. You are mirroring my heart to them. For I, your heavenly Father, correct my children, not to harm them but to heal them, not to reject them but to refine them and make them more like my Son. Scripture tells you that I discipline those whom I love. If I allowed you to wander endlessly in your sin without the loving pain of my correction, you would surely destroy yourself. If you allow your children to wander without your correction, you are leading them toward that very same tragic end. Do not confuse your love for them with indulgence. True love, divine love, restrains. It instructs. It corrects. True love says no. even when the child's tears make your own heart ache to say yes. Love says no because it sees the dangerous future that the child in their immaturity cannot yet see. You ask why skipping my words causes them to lose blessings. My child, my words are living and active. They are not mere ink on a page. They are spiritual substance. They are the bread that nourishes the soul, the living water that quenches the thirst of the spirit, the brilliant light that illuminates the path ahead. To skip my words is to choose to starve one's soul. It is to deny water to a spirit that is dying of thirst. It is to choose to stumble in darkness when a lamp has been freely offered. When your children neglect my word, they become spiritually malnourished and weak. They will have no reservoir of strength to draw from when the day of trial comes, because they refuse to eat the bread I offered them daily. They will not be able to stand firm in the truth when they are bombarded by a world of lies, because they have not taken the time to plant my truth deep within their hearts. They cannot flourish and bear the fruit of my blessing, because my blessing flows only where my word is honored and cherished. Do you not see, my child? My word is the very seed of blessing. If a farmer wants a harvest, he cannot just wish for it. He must take the seed, plant it in the prepared soil, water it, and protect it. A seed that is planted, nurtured, and watered will yield a magnificent harvest in its season. But a seed that is left on the hard surface of the path, ignored, despised, and unattended, will be snatched away by the birds or wither in the sun. It will bear nothing. If your children skip my words, they are skipping the planting of the seed. And if they do not sow the seed, they cannot possibly reap the harvest of blessing. They may cry out for blessing in their time of need, but they will not find it, for they have despised the very source from which it springs. Your sacred task is to teach them to treasure my word, to drink deeply from its wells, to eat of it as their daily bread, and to hide it in the core of their hearts as their most valuable possession. For when the storms of life come up, and I assure you they will come up, it is the living word of God hidden in their hearts that will be the anchor that holds them fast and keeps them from being broken. My child, I have watched from eternity as generations of humanity have risen and fallen. I have seen a clear and unchanging pattern. Those families, those nations, those individuals who honored my word, who built their lives upon its truths, were sustained. They were sustained even through famine, even through captivity, even through intense persecution. They were never completely abandoned, for the covenant of my blessing rested upon them. But those who despised my word, who cast it aside as an ancient relic, who lived as if it had no authority, were eventually consumed by their own folly. They trusted in their own wisdom and were bitterly disappointed. They pursued hollow idols and were left broken and empty. They believed they were embracing freedom, but their freedom was nothing more than the freedom to choose their own chains. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My principles do not change with the shifting cultures of man. The pattern remains. Blessing follows obedience. Loss and sorrow follow rebellion. To allow your children to ignore, disrespect, and neglect my word is to set their feet on the broad path that leads to loss. Do not think that your loving discipline will drive them away from you. This is a fear the enemy uses to paralyze you. Though they may resist in the moment, though they may push back against the boundaries, though their immature hearts may not yet understand your motives, I promise you, the day will come when they will rise up and call you blessed. For they will realize in their maturity that you gave them not what their fleeting desires wanted, but what their eternal souls desperately needed. Children deep down crave boundaries even as they test them, for boundaries are tangible proof of love. Boundaries say, I care about you too much to let you hurt yourself. I see your potential and I will not let you settle for less. To let them do whatever they want is not freedom. It is the cruelest form of abandonment. It is to leave them exposed, unprotected, and vulnerable to all the harms of the world. But to guide them, to restrain them, to lovingly insist that they walk in the path of truth, is to shelter them under the safety of my wings. Consider this, my child. When you plant a young, fragile tree, you drive a strong stake into the ground beside it. You gently bind the young tree to the stake so that it grows straight and tall. If you were to let it grow however it desired, the prevailing winds would bend and twist it. In time, it would grow crooked, its trunk weak, unable to bear its own weight, let alone bear fruit. It would be useless. Your children are like those young trees in their youth. Without the loving guidance and correction of your discipline, without being bound to the strong, unbending stake of my word, they will naturally bend toward folly. The winds of culture, peer pressure, and temptation will twist them until they are broken. But with your patient training, with your consistent discipline, with the unwavering support of my truth, they will grow up strong, straight, and true, able to stand firm against the storms, and able to bear abundant fruit for my kingdom in their season. Do not be afraid to bind them to the truth, for my truth is not a prison that restricts. It is the very foundation that allows them to soar. You fear sometimes, my child, that your discipline will cause them to re-eject you. But the far greater danger is that your indulgence will utterly destroy them. For indulgence teaches them a fatal lesson, that their desires are their God. And when desire becomes their master, they will be its miserable slave for all their days. Desire without the restraint of wisdom and truth always leads to ruin, but your loving discipline teaches them that there is a higher way. It teaches them that life is more than the satisfaction of appetites, that truth is more reliable than feelings, and that true joy is found not in self-gratification, but in self-surrender to me. When you teach them to deny themselves in small things now, they will learn the strength to deny themselves in the face of great temptations later. When you teach them to honor my words in your home, they will learn to cling to those words for dear life when the world around them mocks their faith, when temptation presses in, and when darkness seems to surround them. My child, I must also speak to you about the critical matter of your own example. If you tell your children to honor my words, but they see you consistently skip them yourself, your commands will be empty, hollow gongs. If you demand that they live by my truth, but you yourself live a life of compromise and hypocrisy, they will learn only one thing: that faith is a performance, a pretense. Children have an uncanny ability to detect inauthenticity. They see far more than they let on. They will follow what you do far more than they will follow what you say. If you want them to treasure my word, then let them see you treasuring it. Let them see the Bible open on your table. Let them see you turn to it for wisdom, for comfort, for direction. If you want them to have a life of prayer, let them overhear you praying. Let them see you get on your knees when you are troubled. If you want them to walk in purity and honesty, let them see unwavering purity and honesty in you. Hypocrisy in a parent destroys a child's faith more quickly than outright neglect, for it teaches them that God is not real enough to change even their own mother or father. But sincerity, even when it is mixed with weakness and you have to ask for their forgiveness, teaches them that faith is a real, authentic journey. Do not underestimate the eternal power of the small seeds you plant every day. A single verse read together at the breakfast table, a simple prayer whispered over them as they sleep, a blessing spoken over their lives as they leave for school, a firm but loving word of correction given in private. These things may seem small and insignificant to you, but in the economy of my kingdom, they have eternal weight. They are shaping an eternal destiny. You may think they are not listening. You may feel your words are bouncing off a hard heart, but I promise you my word never returns to me void. It will accomplish the purpose for which I sent it. You sow in tares now, wondering if any of it is taking root. But be patient and faithful, and one day you will reap with shouts of joy. For no seed of truth, sown in love and in my name, is ever wasted. And hear this, my child, for it is a glorious truth. The blessing is not only for them, it is for their children and for their children's children. When you faithfully guide your children in my ways, you are not just building a godly life. You are digging a channel for a river of blessing that can flow for generations. But when you are negligent, when you allow them to despise my word and my ways, you are building a dam that cuts off that flow, and generations to come will suffer in a dry and weary land because of the neglect of one. Do not let your future grandchildren be robbed of their spiritual inheritance because you were too weary to instruct your children now. Do not let them lose what is eternal because you feared their temporary displeasure in this moment. My child, I know that discipline is not easy. It is hard, tiring, and often thankless work, but it is holy work. It is the sacred labor of love. It is a reflection of my own heart for my children. I discipline you because I long for your ultimate good. You must discipline them because you long for theirs. Do not grow weary in doing good. Stay the course. For in due season, at just the right time, you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. Trust me, even when their eyes roll in defiance. Trust me, even when their hearts seem hard and resistant. Trust me, even when their lips complain and argue. The word you have planted in them will not be forgotten. It will lie dormant perhaps for a season, but it will be there. It will burn within them like a fire when they try to stray too far. It will be the voice of truth that calls them back when they wander. It will be the unshakable anchor that holds them when their world is shaken to its core. But if you let them skip my words, if you let them treat as common that which is holy, if you let them despise what is sacred, then you teach them a series of catastrophic lies. You teach them that my word is optional, that my presence is casual, that my blessing is automatic and unconditional. It is not so. Blessing is a covenantal reality. It flows where my word is honored, where my ways are obeyed, and where my name is revered. Do not let your children lose this eternal blessing for the fleeting satisfaction of pleasing themselves. Therefore, my child, rise and be strong in my might. Set the standard of holiness and truth in your home. Do not be ashamed to declare, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Do not fear their complaints more than you fear their ruin. Do not yield to the seductive voice of the world that screams, "Freedom means no rules, no restraint." That is a lie from the pit of hell. True freedom, glorious freedom, is found only in obedience to the truth, only in surrender to me. Stand firm in this calling, and I will stand with you. Guide them, and I will guide you. Discipline them in love, and I will give you divine wisdom. Teach them my word, and I will fill you with my strength. And when that final day comes, you will see them rise in the beauty of holiness, standing beside you in my kingdom. And you will look upon them and upon their children, and you will know with a joy that fills your soul that your labor in me was not in vain. This is my word for you, my beloved child. Hear it, receive it, and walk in it. For my word is life, and those who walk in it shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.